right?
As
Because
long
they're
as I can
flat.
use it for all
They're fucking
international shipping,
flat. That's right. Yep,
but they're
they're
not.
flat.
Are they? Are they
Yep.
face down?
600 nautical miles in shipping is considered as flat on their maps.
Yeah, that's just not true.
Mhm. Yes,
Not
it
even
is, dude. I
no.
mean, it just is. I don't know. You might not accept it, but
Yeah,
it
you
is.
also mentioned the continent of India earlier. Would you like to talk about the mapping techniques that were used on that?
Sure,
At,
sure.
sure.
Triangulation of
That
India. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
that continent was mapped from the outside in. They started on the sea and moved slowly towards the heart of the continent.
That was my
Um,
point. Thank you for bringing up my point. Mean sea
right.
level is the
You
benchmark.
know why
Yeah,
they mapped it on the sea? Because they did
because
it in boats.
you have to have
You know how
you
they
have
did
to
it
have a
in boats?
starting point.
They
You have to
used
have a
an
starting.
astrolabe. You know what an astrolabe requires? A
No,
spherical Earth.
that's not
They,
how
you
it
know how
works.
long? Okay, I mean you can talk over me,
Go ahead.
but
Sorry.
the fact is, an astrolabe predates Jesus and still exists,
Mm-hmm.
complete with maps of the subcontinent of India being filled in from the outside in.
It's
So
actually called an astrolabe, not lab. But go ahead.
okay, so you already know about the thing that disproves everything you said. So
I understand that.
congratulations, now you look even dumber. I
I
didn't think that was
understand the
possible, Face.
apparatus that
Wow.
you're trying to say that somebody used to map India, which I already understand. India was mapped with chains and ropes and dudes and triangulation. That's all it was. It was in the 17th century. Sorry, 18th, so 1700s, right? And
No, many of these. No,
3000
you're
BC.
wrong. Many examples have been proven to show that Earth was a spheroid even before the birth of Christ.
what example?
Do you not realize this?
You said there was many examples. So which one?
Many examples.
For example,
Eratosthenes.
what he do?
He was born
What
he was born before Christ.
Cool. What did he do? Or the Eratosthenes, whatever.
Simple Eratosthenes. All these simple sticks shoved in the ground.
Let's not act like you don't know the fucking argument, dude.
So he
Stop.
took a couple sticks and he put them in the ground. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not several sticks. He had messengers. He had they transferred
Yeah, walkie talkies or
information
what? How
and
did he?
they showed. Uh, are you new to this or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. You said that there was somebody that knew the geometry of the Earth, apparently, right? Before Christ, right? Before the Word.
Yes.
Okay. How did they do that?
They use a multitude of exemplars. They used star movement. They used back to Aristophanes. He used simple sticks shoved into the ground, and watching the shadows as they traversed as the sun traversed as we traversed around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
This is simple stuff.
Cool. How did Eratosthenes know if it was him, his sticks moving or the sun moving? Like, how did he figure that out? Real quick.
Wait, the sticks were moving? What?
Yeah, to create the shadows. Whether it's the sticks moving, meaning the sticks were
How
falling
about where it started? Where
away from the
he's
sun,
just looking down
or
the bottom of a
it was
well.
the sun that was moving on a local path above Eratosthenes. How did he not know the difference, right?
It's been proven like so many times over that
Tell me the proof.
that's
What's the
just
proof?
bull.
Come on, give it to me. What's the proof?
Well, I gotta walk you through
it
all the
sounds like
bullshit that you've spent years arguing against. Like, there's no need for
I'm
me.
looking for the proof. It should be easy. Don't be dumb. Don't be
There's
dumb.
no need
Don't
for
be
me
dumb.
to walk you through the proof that you've definitely already heard.
Don't be dumb then, and be smart and tell me the proof.
This isn't your first
Wait,
foray into flat Earth. Like, you already know about it. You're just being disingenuous at this point.
No, I'm asking for, a
You are.
gentleman just said that we know because,
You
before
are. You're being
Jesus,
disingenuous by acting like you've never heard this before. You just don't want to believe it. That's it.
what's okay. And what's your problem with that?
So you admit that you already know it and you just don't want to believe it.
Can you admit that you were dumb and stupid?
How would what? What?
You
But
you
me,
just told
me calling you out on the fact that you are being disingenuous.
Shuffling the
just
goalposts.
told me. You just told me that you just figured out
At
that I
home.
know more than what I'm giving on to be, right?
Yes,
And
you've already.
I asked you, okay, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Right? Which
Yeah,
one?
that. Do you see how stupid that is? I'm literally.
Which one are you?
You
Which
know that you're already fucking
Now
being
we can get over
disingenuous.
this. We can actually get over the dumb and stupid thing. Just give me proof about the Eratosthenes and the sticks thing. Come on.
You know you're being
So
disingenuous.
it's a
I'm being
repeatable.
honest now, right?
You've
Now-
already,
okay.
you've already argued this shit before. You've already argued this shit before, and there's no need to do it again.
How do you know? I've never argued
It's
it.
a
I have no
repeatable
idea. I don't even know who
experiment. It's been done
Eratosthenes-
time and time again.
Go ahead. Then fuck it. Argue it then, right? Fuck it.
Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
Waste your time and do
Don't
the
be dumb.
same argument over and over again. Go ahead.
Don't be
Go
dumb.
nuts. Go
Don't be
nuts.
dumb. Just
Yeah,
relax.
I'm dumb by knowing that you have already done this before. I'm dumb by you doing the same thing over again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I agree. You're dumb.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
am dumb. Yep, I'm dumb because you're doing the same thing over and over again. Go
Mhm.
ahead. Go ahead. It's fine.
So sticks in the ground. I mean, I'm not getting this. Like, how do we where do we go? from
What
here?
is your question, Face One? What are you asking? You want to know how you know those sticks were not
No,
moving
there
as
was
the sun?
M. Scott. There was a guy that came on and said that we know.
Yeah, I heard your
before
question.
Jesus.
You said, "How do we know it's not the sticks that are moving?" You know, it's not the sticks that are moving because you look at them and you see that they're not moving.
I never asked why the sticks.
So then, what's your question? What's
You
your
know,
question? It's a distinct
you
form.
did. You did actually.
That
Okay,
is what you asked.
yeah,
What
okay,
did
well,
you mean to ask?
Listen.
What
I
did you
may
mean to
have
ask?
said, I was keeping it simple, M. Scott, right?
Yeah, but so what is your
How do you-
question?
I was asking the guy that asked me, about the Eratosthenes thing, right? I was like, how does that guy that asked me, I wasn't asking you or anybody else, just that guy, how does he know in the story that Eratosthenes didn't know that the sticks weren't falling over the edge of a globe? Or
It's just silly.
the sun
You
wasn't
look at the
moving
sticks, you see they're
overhead.
not falling or moving.
You're leading us into silliness.
You just
That's
look
all
at the
you're doing.
sticks, you see that they're not moving or falling, and now you know they're not moving or falling. What's next?
Cool. So I'm not moving or falling, right?
You might be. I don't know. I have to look at you.
Hold on. If the sticks aren't moving or falling, then I'm not moving or falling.
Depends. Are you falling? I mean, you can fall when the sticks don't. The sticks can fall when you don't. It depends.
What do you mean? Why would the sticks fall?
I can't
and
see
move
what you're
if I
doing right now. For all I know, you're about to fall off your chair. What do I know? If you're falling, then you're falling.
You're getting a little bit belligerent. I mean, calm down. Okay.
It's almost
You're
like
asking a question. You've gotten
Yeah,
your answer, which
we're
is
all
that I
cool
don't know
here.
if you're
I
falling
wasn't-
or
But I didn't get the answer from the guy to ask it. I mean, you came into White Knight for this guy, even though I was being very
No.
polite.
I don't need no white knighting. Go
That's
ahead
right.
and ask your
That's right,
question.
M. Scott. So take a seat, M. Scott.
I may or may not. Well, depends on how this goes.
Okay.
But if
We'll
what
see.
you're doing
Okay.
is if what you're going to do
Alright.
is just harass
It's
people, this is going
okay,
to get boring.
M. Scott, it's okay. The guy that asked the question can actually, we can go back and forth. No big deal.
so you know that you're bested already, though, right?
Yeah, he pretty much knows. he's
So, sir,
Like you just got spanked, and now you're still like, hey man, let it play out. Like, shut up, dude.
sir, the guy that asked the question about what's his name, Eratosthenes, whatever his name,
You know
How
you
did-
know the
how
name.
how did Eratosthenes know that the Earth is round and all that shit?
He didn't. He went out
No,
his way
the
to
guy
test it.
that's asking the question, not you.
Oh, he
guys.
didn't
Oh,
even. He
oh,
didn't
excuse
even
me,
set out-
excuse
he
me. I'm
didn't
sorry.
even- Eratosthenes didn't even set out to prove the Earth was spherical. All he was just conducting a simple experiment, and ta-da! He discovered that Earth was a spheroid due to sun's movement. Well, Earth's movement as we rotated around the sun.
Okay, so Eratosthenes, he wasn't even trying to do an experiment. That's what you're saying?
No, he wasn't trying to prove that Earth was a sphere.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So why did he put sticks in the ground?
He was conducting an astronomy experiment.
Okay, and what was he looking
Regarding
for
what?
in the sky when he put sticks in the ground? He's looking for in the sky. Can you please just tell me?
It's
So
so annoying that you're.
What he ended up. It was an accidental discovery.
Eratosthenes was an
That-
accidental.
yes, Earth is indeed a spheroid.
I think his
Mhm.
goal was to measure the circumference. I think he was set out.
No,
to do-
M. Scott, stop it! I told you.
Hey,
when
hey,
me-
you don't get to choose who gets to talk, Face One. It's a public forum, and if I hear somebody saying misinformation, then I'm going to feel the right to correct it. It's not up to you to tell me to shut up.
I could.
Okay,
correct
I'm
him
going to
too,
let you
right?
guys
I
go
could
now.
correct him too, okay, right?
So it's not up to you, Face One. You should stop interrupting people just because
All
you
right,
don't want to
go
hear them
ahead.
talk.
Correct.
I just did. I just corrected it. He set out to measure the Earth's circumference. It wasn't an accident. He was intending to do this.
He was intending.
A lot of times they are accidents, experimental accidents, but this was not one of them.
You can literally look it up, and that's actually like the impetus of the entire thing. So
If you're probably getting it mixed up with one of the other
Hold
guys,
on,
but a lot of them did, have accidental discoveries. I
Hey,
think this
we
one is
don't
intentional.
need to make the guy.
Hey, Face One. If you keep talking over people, I'm just going to mute. Just stop doing that. If you hear someone talking, wait till they're done. For fuck's sake.
he just got unmuted today.
Scott, all I was saying was like, let's not make the guy feel bad who actually presented that thing. Let's teach him what the experiment was about. Right?
No one was making him feel bad, and you were over talking it. Over talking doesn't matter what you're trying to say. You should just not. You're doing it again. Stop doing that, Face One. Wait till the person's done.
Don't get so triggered.
Again, stop doing it.
Okay,
Scott,
let's get back to the meat of the
Scott, you're coming
subject.
in late. Like he was arguing about like the actual definition of datum for like 30 minutes. Crazy. He said datum only refers to like planar survey. So he said datum couldn't the word itself couldn't be used anywhere else. And then he finally agreed that it could be, but in this like this circumstance,
Come on, Crack Rabbit. I took the L just to get off this
I'm
subject. Please let's not
stuttering,
go back
dude. I'm
there.
stuttering. I'm sorry. It's a thing I had when I was a kid, and I'm trying to get away from it. I'm sorry. Oh no. Just trying to get Scott up to speed. I apologize.
All I wanted to say was that I think in this case he did intend to set out to measure the circumference. He knew the Earth. He assumed the Earth was a globe, and he was testing that. He was checking to see if it is a globe, what's the circumference.
How sure are we he was a real person? It's not some amalgamation like the apple falling on Newton's head.
I don't know actually. I don't really know how we figure out, like, how in general, how do we assess the reality of people from that long ago?
Oh no! Oh no! Don't! No!
So, Scott, the guy came on and said that I was wrong, and the reason why I was wrong is because he knows the story of Eratosthenes, right? And the Greeks came before Jesus, even though I never talked about Jesus or the Bible or anything, but he's like, they came before Jesus. And the reason why is because they used astronomy. Eratosthenes used astronomy with sticks in the ground. I have to question that. Come on, dude. I have to question that. They used astronomy with sticks in the ground. So I had to ask him who this Eratosthenes guy was and just get the story out. I wasn't trying to defame him or ridicule him at all, right? Basically trying to learn him because I know more about the story than he does, and so do you. You know more about it than I do, right? That's all it was. Okay. Anybody else have stories about sticks in the ground we can talk about?
So you're admitting to being disingenuous.
I was trying to learn the guy slowly because he was wrong. I knew he was
So you're
wrong. You
admitting to
knew he
being
was wrong. We all
disingenuous.
knew he was wrong. But we're just trying to learn him slowly because maybe he's new to this, right? Okay, no problem.
So you were admitting to being disingenuous.
Not at all.
Well, no, yes.
I was asking him about the story. That's it.
Yeah, it's as if you knew about it and yet you still let him go on. Yeah,
I never said I didn't know about it, right?
it's not about what you said. It's about what you just claimed to actually know. So, yes, you were being disingenuous.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you want to call me that, that's fine.
Do we have the calibration certificates for the sticks?
I don't think there are any.
How about the shadows? Give me the calibration for the shadows. Were they at the right angle?
What do you mean by the right angle?
Mm-hmm.
Cool
You
story,
know-
bro.
The right angle. Not even a right angle. The right
You know
angle.
that people replicated all the time in Kosho, and this server used a bunch of people from the server, and they replicated their results.
So you replicated some dude from 2,000 years ago.
Yes, that same experiment.
Okay, cool. And what'd you come up with?
I didn't do it. Kosho and a bunch of people in here, but they came with the same
What's
result.
come up with? Yeah,
The same
go
result.
ahead.
There's a
Same
spreadsheet-
result. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Shadow?
there's a spreadsheet that's out there somewhere that catalogs it all.
Yeah. Did Kosho come up with a 93?
all the time.
M. Scott. Did Kosho come up with a 93 million mile away sun? Is that what he came up with?
That's not really designed to test the distance from the sun.
Well, then how would you have parallel rays and the shadows? Like, how would you know what your shadows
use
representing if you didn't know how far away the sun was?
Well, use Aristar. You don't need to know how far away the sun is. You just need to assume that the light rays are parallel. But that's not really an assumption because you can
parallel
test it.
from what? Yeah.
You can test to each other, but you can test that assumption with a method by Aristarchus, which is what they did.
Aristarchus. You mean the
So he-
dodo?
Yeah, the same. He talks about him too.
Shout out to Pete. Yeah.
But so I guess Aristarchus has the method for checking or seeing or proving to yourself that the rays are sufficiently parallel,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not perfectly parallel, but they're very close. And so they use that method to confirm that they are indeed sufficiently parallel, and then they do Eratosthenes, and when they get those curved results, they can know that it's not from the light rays.
There's no curvature results on Eratosthenes.
There is.
Well,
No,
let's get into that
it's
real quick.
angle.
Hold on. I think Soundly had like a whole thing where he got his community involved, where they all were measuring the angle of the sun at what was it, the spring equinox, and he put them all together.
No, it wasn't Soundly. It was what's his nuts from Germany. He did the waterline pipe test. What the fuck's his name?
I think you're wrong because Soundly did do exactly that video.
Soundly
so
didn't do it. It was.
I think you need to go watch Soundly's video on that. Okay, sure.
No. I know it was a Glober, but it wasn't Soundly.
Well, except you're wrong because Soundly did do that video where he got all of his supporters from all over the fucking globe.
No, I know.
Yes,
it was.
Soundly did do it.
It wasn't Soundly. It was what's his nuts from Germany? He lives in Germany. He's American, but he lives in Germany. Who is?
Thinking of,
Scott, you should know.
you're thinking of what's his name? You're thinking of
Yeah. What's his name?
forget his name. But he's kind of like Soundly. I don't know. Maybe they both did it for all I know. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I mean, totally vocal on all the channels. I just can't get his name right now. God damn it.
Wait, the American
Wolfie, isn't it?
No, not Wolfie.
not Wolfie,
He's the
it's,
big guy. He's really big. If you ever seen him.
Yeah.
Mm,
It starts with an S too. It's a two. Sly Sparkane. Sly Sparkane.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Sly. Yeah, that you guys are right. That is who it is.
That's who it was. It was
Okay,
Slide that did that.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that information?
What information? Go ahead.
Well, the fact that he got all these people from all over the globe to measure the angle of the sun on specifically the same day at the same time, all across the globe.
And what were the measurements?
Ostensibly, what it says is there is no chance that it's a goddamn flat Earth.
So the measurement is, and the hypothesis and the result is, there's no chance. That's your answer.
I mean, I guess I'll find the video, and then you can go watch it, and then whatever. I don't know. You won't care about videos, though. We all get
care.
that.
Okay.
You don't.
Do we think for half a second he hasn't already watched it as he knew exactly what channel it was on?
Exactly.
I've
If anything, like I claimed earlier, he's being completely disingenuous. He's just here for the fucking lulz, you know? Like, yeah. I get that. I do get that. Like,
So sharpen your argument, okay? Right? That's all you have to do. Just sharpen it. Right?
well, I'm not making an argument. I'm not making videos to disprove what you're saying. I'm not doing any of that. So I don't really
I
have an
said
argument.
sharpen your argument. I don't want you to make videos. I don't make videos. You know,
Yeah,
just maybe you watch videos and shit like I do, right? You watch everybody on both sides. Everything's fine. Just sharpen your argument. That's all.
What? I told you, I really don't have an argument.
What he's saying is he's a drunk Poe with nothing better to do than argue about inane things that he knows he's wrong about.
Are you saying I'm wrong? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I wrong about here?
Oh,
We
no.
go.
Things.
What am I
There's a
wrong?
long list.
Okay, go.
What do you think?
Give me one point by
You probably know as well as we do. What would your guess be?
Give me
What's your
point
top
by
10 guesses of what you're wrong about?
Give me one.
If you had to
one.
guess, what we think you're wrong about, would you guess anything?
Number
Anything come to
one.
mind?
Well, how about this? How do you debunk Slice Barkane's video of all of the people from across the globe fucking showing that there's no way that it would be a flat Earth? How do you debunk that video? Go. Just
Okay.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Okay. The only way that I could debunk Sly Sparkane from one of his videos, right?
No. Specifically, the video where he got his entire community who was willing. You know, like, yeah. We can all find it. We can go find it right now. But yeah, how do you debunk that video?
Those lines that were drawn on his little, his tracer diagram there, where he showed where everybody was and the angle that they were at and all that shit, right? Those lines actually dissected and diverged each other. Okay, they actually did. Okay, if you looked at the number where those people were, I'm at 28.8 degrees south and shot a number, he just drew those lines on his own. Okay, Sly drew those lines on his own. I saw where the people were, and I kind of
personally,
I kind of trust Sly to say that that's where the people were at 28.4 degrees south, 30 degrees south. 34 degrees north, right? I trust that. I saw all the what do you call it? The PowerPoint he put in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when he drew the diagram, which was his main point, it did not match up to what his PowerPoint said. Okay. Go look at all of it. Go look at the whole thing. Okay. Just because some dude
put money on that,
put money on fucking ball on a fucking black screen, right, doesn't mean that's exactly how it works. Right?
You're willing to put money on that?
Yeah. I mean, I won't put money on it only because there's no reason. Like, I'll never be able to pay you. You know what I mean? So I'll put my word on it. How about that?
What do you mean you can pay it? I mean, PayPal's like fucking. It takes like 2 seconds.
I don't have a PayPal account.
Wow, it takes like 2 seconds to fucking set up. So yeah, it's not a big deal. And even better is you can drive to any CVS or Walmart or whatever the fuck, and you can load money right on that goddamn PayPal account. So it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. You know, like if you're willing to put your fucking money where your
I thought we were
Guys, we don't need to go on an extended riff about how he can pay because it's not
I
going to
thought
happen.
we're talking about
I know it's not
game.
gonna
All of a sudden, you want money for some reason, right?
Well, I'm just curious, like how far you want to, hedge your fucking bets here, dude.
I told you why. I saw
Yeah, you can tell me why all you want.
2 years ago. I fucking saw it, right? And I also saw his PowerPoint about all the degrees that the people are at. And if I trust him on that one, that's okay. When he put up the fucking
wrong.
diagram of all these straight
No
fucking
chance
lines,
you could ever prove it
no. Say he just put straight lines on there to fool you. Do you understand?
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He's got no integrity whatsoever. Like he's
because he knows if you were to put all the actual lines on there, they would diverge and cross each other. Absolutely.
What size clown shoes do you wear? Because I already lost, and I'll just buy you a new pair. Because obviously yours are worn the fuck.
12s. I don't know. Go ahead and send them to me. Yeah.
Cool.
That'd be great. Give me I want a red nose too. The button nose, beep beep.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
Maybe some hair. I'd love some hair. Be great. So anyways, what else you got? What else you got? Slash Arcane that you just got debunked on. Okay, go ahead.
You didn't debunk anything.
You have not looked at the PowerPoint. Okay, you have not looked at his actual information. All you saw.
What are you talking about?
The only thing you saw was the end of his video where he took a fucking black screen, put a fucking circle, a half circle on it, and put fucking straight lines going out from everywhere, right?
Once you actually rewatch,
that's all you saw.
Real quick,
and you were like, "Yeah, see, it's got to be true. Got to be true, right?" Well, first of all them straight lines would not point to the sun.
And Dallas David, you two are just the same. And honestly, I'm gonna say it right now. I understand. Hold on, real quick. I understand why you were muted for fucking a month or whatever the fuck it was.
How long were you muted? Scott mutes me all the fucking time. It's okay.
How long were you muted for?
Over a month. It's fine.
Cool. I get muted too. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
As you though.
I'm not stressed out about it. Yeah.
Are you confused again?
You were muted for a month.
Hey Terry, what's up, Terry?
Are you confused again, Aaron?
Terry, I'm lost. I have no idea what's going on again. Damn it.
What do you mean? You're the one leading the fucking argument. How are you lost?
I was talking to Terry, not you.
Oh,
you don't even know Terry.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I apologize.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it's his argument. You don't expect him to actually follow it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Terry,
lost.
Terry,
lost.
How many times have you muted me, Terry? Come on.
What, on my end or on the?
Yeah, on your end, on your show, yeah.
No, I don't think I have actually. I'll just tell you
Terry.
to shut up. I'll just tell you to shut up, wouldn't I?
Okay, folks on your channel muted me left and right back in the day.
Who did?
Davros #1, right? I mean, come on.
I don't blame him. I don't. Well, because you want to bring up proof, and then like once you actually get there, you're just gonna be like, fuck, it's all bullshit, Like,
what are you talking about? I never said that. What are you talking about,
dude? Stop.
All right, talk about sticks in the ground again. That'd be funny.
So what's wrong with the sticks in the ground, huh?
Well, Terry, I was trying to ask him, like, what's the difference if you put sticks in the ground, right, and then you measure the shadow, right, and then you radio ahead to your buddy that's way over there, like 500 stadia away, right, and be like, "Yo, what's your stick say?" And he's like, "Man, it's a little bit less degree." Like, holy crap. Right?
Yeah, that's how it works back then, right?
Well, apparently, right? What do you think? They have speed camels? They fucking run 500 stadia away?
At what point in like the world do you think that we actually were able to real time like monitor what we would
Well,
consider?
Eratosthenes did it, right?
Dude, you're not even gonna let me.
But that's not how he did it, Aaron.
How'd he do it, Terry? You tell me.
Didn't he do it in the Zenith?
Yeah, that's right.
At one position, that's all?
No, he did it in a few positions because he compared it
What position, Terry?
at different latitudes.
Locations and latitudes. Yeah.
Right, but he kept the same longitude.
How far away? How far away are those latitudes, Terry?
I
One
think they're about
latitude.
no, I think it was about 1,000 miles or 500 miles.
Pretty
or something.
much, yeah. So he got on his fucking walkie-talkie beeper. It was like, yo.
No,
what's-
he travelled to the next location.
Oh, so he waited one whole year and then put up a new stick, but at the same zenith.
It was already known what the angle was. It was already known at the angle of the zenith that the light went down the well at a certain time period. So he went to a different. He went to a different location on the same longitude.
Mm-hmm. How did he know when the light was above the well at his foreign location?
It was the same.
How do you
It
know
was
when
the same every time, and so then he figured out what that time was, and then he went to the other location at that time.
How did he know when the light was above the well when he's 500 stadia away?
Because it
How
was
did
the
you know
same
that?
every year, so he knew when that would happen, and he had
But
to
he
wait.
wasn't there. He was.
I know, but it was the same. By the way, somebody was there to verify. Yes, indeed, at the same time it happens every year. It happened. Oh, good. I was keeping track of time, and at the same time,
Cool.
at that
So
same time, I was
they
in this spot, and this
radio-
happened. Hey,
they
face one. The reason you get muted is not because you have things that are, that we disagree with. The reason you get muted is because you never, ever, ever let people finish. Talking like you just decide you've heard enough, and you just start talking. It's just so annoying.
It was done at a different time, Aaron. It wasn't done at the same time. Like I had a walkie-talkie or anything. That'd be silly.
Mm-hmm.
That's this whole argument about this whole thing is that like it's so dumb.
So, can I talk, Scott? Okay.
Yeah,
or
if
not?
there's no one talking, feel free to talk. It's just if someone's literally in the middle of sentences and they're talking to you, you can see how it's really annoying when you just start up in the middle of that, right?
I understand when someone's talking to me, I can argue with them back and forth. It's okay. But when you jump in and try to ask a question, yes, I understand. It gets all
Well,
chaotic.
but in
I
that
get
case,
it.
you and I were talking, and when I was responding to you, and you then decided you'd heard enough.
Okay. So Eratosthenes, so Terry, he initially started with a well, right? And so Zenith was over the well, and he could just see directly down through the well, and he's like, wow, that's pretty weird, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, close enough.
Cool. And so from that point, he ran over 50 yards and put a stick in the ground. Is that what
No, it
happened?
was more like several hundred miles on the same longitude.
So he took his camel, ran over 700 miles, and put a stick in the ground and measured the angle.
Yep. And he got that angle and he worked it out.
Mm-hmm. So the time it took him to go from over the well to 700 miles away on a camel,
that doesn't matter.
Did the sun not move over
This
the
is
zenith?
a dumb argument because no one is saying that he measured and then ran. That's a fucking dumb argument.
He did it at the same time, but a different. What was it, Scott? He did it 12 months apart or something?
Yeah, he did it on a different day, exactly.
Okay. So, but it's the same day, but a different year.
Different
like
day,
one
a
year.
different day, on a different day.
But
Oh, so yes, the same time annually, exactly.
Okay. So a year apart, he did this, right? So he knew, even though he's 700 miles away, he knew when the zenith would be over the well. He knew that because he observed it the year before. And apparently he had a clock and, some sort of timekeeper, some sort of solar observatory where he knew.
So he would have used his own sundial type apparatus. to work out when the middle of the
but he
day
wasn't
was.
there at the well. But yes, I get
He
it.
didn't
Right?
have to be. He didn't. He
Okay.
just waited till the 12 o'clock or zenith that
Mhm.
day, and then he measured the
Mhm.
angle of his stick.
If I remember right, too, I think it was on a festival day too. I think.
Yeah,
which helped.
I was just gonna ask, like, what if it was on, like, the Earth is on a tilt. Apparently, how he didn't know that, So as the Earth rotates, even one fucking year, right? The Earth's tilts gets a little bit different, apparently, but he still was able to measure shadows based upon the
Well,
well.
you can't use the tilt to
mean,
your advantage because, like, you don't believe that the Earth is, the Earth.
Well, it doesn't. It's not to his advantage anyway. Every day, the same time, same day, you're going to get a moment to happen, right? Whatever shifting it does is so minuscule that it's not in a lifetime of a person. You're not going to be able to measure this difference. So he knew that on the first day of the summer festival or whatever it was, I forget exactly if it was even a festival, but I think it was. On the first day of the summer festival, the light went down the well, and this one spot went down it perfectly without hitting the sides at all. And so on that same day, it's only 1,000 miles north or whatever. He goes directly north on the same longitude. Now this is close enough that it's not like time zones are involved here. I mean, this is they're having the same festival those guys are having 1,000 miles south. So on that first day of the festival, he checks to see, okay, well, what about here? And then sees it doesn't go down the well perfectly, and then measures the difference.
Mm-hmm. And you said about 1,000 miles, in one direction. Let's say north or south. It couldn't go east or west because that
has to be north
wouldn't
or
make
south.
sense,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah. And so 1,000, 1 degree, it's 69 miles. So 1,000 miles would be.
We don't really
degrees?
know for sure exactly how far it was. Yeah. But we know that it was. And people say, I guess the people who look into this estimate it being about 1,000 miles, or maybe 500. I've seen before.
I thought it was like 600.
It might have been 500. It was something like the time it took his servant to walk a certain distance. But we don't really know what a stadia was. I think we have a rough idea of a stadia, but not an exact number.
Mm. So there is no actual, proof to this story. We're just kind of talking through it. That's all we're doing, right?
There's no proof to something in history. Okay. It's just evidence.
It's a religion.
And no evidence.
This is the best like fucking analog for flat earthers.
He came up with back then still works today.
Yeah, it's been replicated sometimes.
No, it doesn't.
It does. Coach did it.
You can't do it today. Come on.
The amount he was out wasn't much, was it?
Yeah,
wasn't a lot.
Only off by a couple degrees.
That's not bad. Right? I don't know how much he was off by.
All degrees.
All of this can be replicated literally today. Like I'm in Virginia, and if I found in Florida that we want to measure something,
equals the
Kosho replicated it with like 27 people across the globe. Got the exact same results. The flat earthers that were involved, he got a lot of flat earthers to help out. They got very mad because their data helped prove that the Earth was spherical.
No,
that would have been funny.
Datum.
Okay, datum.
It's got to have an M on the end of it.
No, this guy doesn't.
Did the flat earthers knew how to calibrate this?
Oh, I don't know what datum is. Okay.
Right. I guess he gave them like instructions on what to do. They didn't fully understand what exactly it was being contributed to, but so they did their instructions and measure their measure and then send it in. And then when he put it all together, he got the results. And then they were sort of annoyed. I think like Shepa, yeah, that guy, he was really annoyed. It isn't hard to reckon or to see the data, to see the evidence that the Earth is a globe. It just isn't that. It's not that unattainable. It's very straightforward.
Is it something biased that if you see the data, but you could understand it, but you don't want to understand it?
I don't know actually. I mean, I think from the flat Earth side, they just didn't know how it was going to fit together into a big picture. But
what data are you talking about though? Terry and M. Scott. Like, I'd love. I know you guys say, "Oh, we've already showed you the data," but it's just equation after equation after equation. That doesn't mean reality at all.
But what are you asking us? You're just sort of
okay. Well, you just said that I don't understand the data that's been presented to me, right? What data?
I didn't say that you don't understand the data presented.
Well, Terry did.
Okay. So the data we're talking about right now is the data taken in a replication of the Eratosthenes experiment that Kosher did with 27 people
numbers
around the globe.
Yeah,
so those are measurements of shadows and angles.
Mm-hmm. And who's the source there?
all the different people that participated, which is Globers and the Flat Earthers, about 27 people.
Cool. Is that peer
Hold on,
reviewed?
hold on, all around the globe. So then they told them where they were. So we had latitude and
You
longitude.
can't do it
Hold
all
on,
around the globe.
hold on.
Only
Latitude
sunny
and
on
hold
one.
on. Latitude and longitude. And then they did measurements and they put it all together and figured out what he could figure out from it.
Yeah, it's only sunny on one side of the globe, though. On your globe, right?
Actually, you're right. It is only sunny, but I'm not sure what that's
Okay.
relevant.
But you said all around the globe.
Yeah, he did it over
all
multiple
these-
days. I think he did like a bunch of these different ones in different
okay.
days. And
So they weren't taking into
he
account.
published
span
this all, as
rotation or
you can
anything.
see if you'd like.
24-hour period.
It's in a big PDF where he's included all the different things he got from different people, how exactly he did it, who did what, and all that kind of stuff.
Everybody's local 12 o'clock or noon, that everyone did the same thing.
Mhm. How did they know that they're local 12, Terry?
He was time at 8.
Oh my god.
Yeah, use a clock.
They use time at 8.
Right?
Time at 8
Yeah.
to learn it.
You don't trust your own watch now, is what you're saying.
No, there's time zones. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, they just used the tool to figure out exactly when the right time for them was, and then they did it.
But it's not exactly right. It's not.
It is exactly right. I mean, there's gonna be there's always the approximation when you're doing a physical real world thing, right? Whenever you're out in the real world, you're measuring anything, you're doing anything, you're never perfect, right? And so yes, there's gonna be some approximation, but it's gonna be so trivial.
I live very near time zone, okay, from Central Time to Eastern Time in the U.S., right? Okay, so I can be at 5 o'clock on my time. Just go across one little border.
Yeah, but how's that interesting,
invisible
dude?
border, and then it'll be fucking 6 o'clock.
I know, but at any given point you're at, there's an exact time at which you're going to have a solar noon. Anywhere you are, it doesn't matter where you are. There's going to be a time that you can look on your clock. Hold on, don't interrupt. There's going to be a time you can look on your clock to see when your solar noon is, and that will happen no matter where you are. That's based on your location, not your time zone.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you wanted him to use a sundial. That's...
He doesn't even get it. Like, that's what's so weird. He probably does get it. That's the fucked up thing about this whole thing.
I think he does, but he's just not sure.
I feel like he gets part of it, maybe. But he's just
Terry, I love you, man. He's a good guy. So these lines that were drawn from Kosho's, all his participants all across the world, right? They were drawn parallel, straight out. So
Lines,
they didn't point. They did not point at the sun.
I'm not sure what lines you're talking about.
Well, you're talking about, Kosho made a observation similar to Slice Barcane, right? Where
he made an observation similar to Eratosthenes.
Eratosthenes, right? Yeah. And so there were lines drawn off the surface of a globe, right, to show that
I don't think so.
Oh, really? So what was wrong?
I don't think there were lines drawn off the surface of the globe, but I'm not sure. I didn't actually read the whole report, so maybe there were.
Mm-hmm.
I think what he was doing was just measuring the differential between the shadow angles. Once you have those differentials, then he can start reasoning about how far away or what the circumference of the Earth is.
And almost then could you start drawing those lines, but not.
You can't.
You don't need to draw lines.
No.
You don't need to. You don't need to. Yeah, you're right.
No. He's not measuring the differentials to the sun angle.
He's measuring the shadow
or the shape of the surface that all these people are on. All he's doing is taking geometry measurements of what they see and
he's measuring the length of the shadow for each location, and then figuring out what that means about the circumference of the Earth. Because as the Earth curves, different people are going to get different.
I said
listen,
no shape.
Hold on. Stop interrupting, for fuck's sake. As the Earth curves, it changes the angle at which the light's hitting the stick, and that causes the shadow to elongate.
What if the Earth was flat, though? You'd get the same result with the close and local light.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, you wouldn't. Not when you take so many measurements. I think you took 27 different.
Yes,
you took 27 different measurements, and there's no way to get a local.
You understand math, dude.
I do, and I'm telling you the answer right now. You're interrupting again, though. If you do more than 2 measurements, you take 27 of them. There's no way to get the data to work out on the flat Earth. It just won't happen. It only happens because you don't have enough variables if you just take 2 measurements.
What variable is there for a far away light source
The length
to
of the
create
shadow.
shadow?
The length of the shadow. So there are two
No,
solutions. If
and
all
the
you do is
curvature,
look at two
and you have,
spots.
and the curvature is variable, right?
Yeah, but if you have two measurements, okay, you just take two, then there's two solutions. But if you take more than two, there's only one position for the light that makes any kind of sense. Otherwise, you get contradiction.
Yeah, of course. If you take that into your variable. Yeah.
Can you see the side? Can you see the side chat? Huh?
I'm not looking, Terry. Hold on.
Yeah,
My phone-
swipe left.
I know my phone's fucked up, Terry. I got a brand new screen on it, but the bottom's not working. So hold on. What do you want me to go? Debate or which one? Terry? Side chat.
We're in debate chat box. Anyone can explain the images from the data from what Sly had in his video, so I just thought I'd post a couple of images to help you out.
Like he actually projected them both on like what would be a flat plane and what would be a sphere, and so like, the funny thing about it is, as far as like actually measuring the angle to where the sun was, for every measurement, for everyone that observed it, it would not make literally any sense if it was on a flat plane. If anything, it made nothing but direct sense if it was a globe, a sphere.
Unfortunately, you got no curvature to prove that.
Well, we do actually, because we had a bunch of
No,
measurements.
you don't.
And literally in that video, if you just go watch the video, just stop. Go watch Sly's video. Let me just fucking find it, I guess, and I'll link it now that I can actually.
Yeah, just scroll up.
The curve. Give us a measurement of the actual curve.
Terry,
There are measurements.
general.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, literally, his video's there. So even
Yeah.
without a measurement of the curve, you can literally just like fucking see that if you get a group of people measuring their actual angle to the sun.
Are we
Which
looking at the same
sun? I
thing?
mean, how far away is the sun?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it
Doesn't
does matter.
matter.
Actually.
I mean, it does matter, but it's the angle.
Yeah.
The angle
What if
from
that
what?
angle
though?
is changed by a different view, or what you're
Mm.
looking at is fucking moving.
Hey,
Okay.
you're quiet. Is that Mabbit? You're quiet.
No,
That's okay. When he starts yelling, you'll be louder.
I don't know.
yeah, you'll hear me there.
You know, there is
All in
measurement.
a fucking religion.
There
I
is
can
measurement
hear
of
it
the
in your voices.
there is measurement of the curve though, Matt. But you always say there's not, but there is. It's direct measurement.
No,
We have
there
lots of it.
isn't.
Yes, there
There
is.
is no.
You are
physical
incorrect about
measurement
that.
of the
I don't know
curve.
why you keep spouting misinformation. I don't know why you want to lie to
Because
people.
there isn't one.
How would you know? I've
There
seen it.
isn't
Yes,
a
there is.
measurement of any
Yes, there is. I've
curvature.
seen it, Mabbit.
No, there is not.
How would you
You
know,
are in
Mabbit? How would you know?
a
You never looked for
religion.
it. You never looked
You
for it.
just have to
You're
listen
just
to your
speculating. You're just
fucking-
hoping that there's not been measurements, but there has been, and I've seen them.
M. Scott,
Hold
don't
on,
talk
face one.
over people.
Hold on, face one.
Don't talk.
You're
over
just hold on, face one. So you're just speculating and hoping that what you're saying is true. But I've seen it.
No, I'm not. There is not a fucking measurement of any curvature.
Yes,
in the
there is.
story.
I've seen it.
No, there fucking ain't.
Yes, there fucking
are
is. You old crazy coot.
You are indoctrinated with complete and utter fucking nonsense.
I have seen it, Mabbit. You have not even
No,
looked.
you have not.
Yes,
seen
I
it.
have
Fuck
seen
all.
it. In fact,
No,
I've
you
taken a
haven't.
measurement. I've taken it
You
myself.
have been indoctrinated with complete nonsense.
Incorrect, Mabbit. You are just hoping that's true. You have no evidence of that. You've never looked for it. You have no idea what you're talking about.
There is fuck all to look for. There
If you
is
get a
no
theodolite-
curvature.
If you get a theodolite and you go up to an elevation, you can take measurements yourself of the curvature.
No, you
It's
can't.
easy to do.
How
No, you
far
can't.
can you
M.
use
Scott,
an-
no, you can't.
Of course you can.
How
Face one.
far can you
Yo,
use a
the
theodolite?
tolerance of the machine will
I
not.
can't.
let
When you guys are
stay
both
within
talking, I can't understand you.
tolerances.
No, you can't do it.
Yes, you can, face one. What was that,
The
Mabbit?
tolerance of a theodolite will
How
not
far
let
can
you
you
do
use
that.
a theodolite and stay within tolerances?
Very far. Extremely far.
Very far.
Yes.
You're a fucking bellend.
No, that's not true, actually. If actually between the two of us, I promise you that's not going to be true. Far enough. All you have to do is measure the drop of the horizon on the water.
Mhm.
That drop is fairly significant as you start
Is
to get
that
up
the
in elevation.
geometric horizon you're measuring there?
Yeah, you're
Is that
using the parent
geometric?
the parent
We're gonna
horizon,
go
which is going to be
back
equivalent to the geometric, basically.
it'll be
Physical fucking
equivalent to the
Yeah.
geometric,
Yeah,
right?
it'll be within
So
within an
there
error.
would be no refraction way out there.
Well,
every
yeah,
minute
you want to do it
that,
on many days. You want to do it multiple times. You want to take an average, and you're going to get basically the right
which
answer. You're
you
gonna get the
did,
geometric answer.
obviously. You did that, right?
No, I did it. I did it on one day.
Yeah, one day.
But people have done it on many days.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have. Of course, they have. Why do you just
Well,
lie?
okay, I
You
won't
guys,
say they haven't, but
this is what you guys do. You guys don't look into this, and then you guys spout lies about what hasn't happened. It's
we
so
understand. We understand the standard and the optics of the machine that you were trying to use to prove curvature.
Well,
We
first of all, you
understand
don't
this,
because the machine
you
has
don't understand it.
You don't understand the optics of the machine because the machine
Yes,
is so
we
very.
do. We
No, you
use
don't.
them daily.
Hold on, face one.
We use them
Hold
daily.
on, face one. Stop interrupting. The machine is so varied in its implementation that you can't possibly know which one
No, it's very.
Will you stop interrupting, face one? Will you stop interrupting? It's so varied in its implementation, you couldn't possibly know which kind of theodolite I was using, so you don't know
very
what optics.
specific.
Stop interrupting, Stop interrupting, face one. I'm going to just mute you if you keep doing that. You've got to learn to wait till the person's done to the sentence. It's just rude to interrupt like that. It's crazy. I don't understand why you can't help yourself.
You finished?
So I'm saying that there's so many different kinds of theodolites, you don't know which one was being used, so you can't tell me you know about the optics. Now I'm done.
Was it a Leica? Was it a Top
No.
Gun? Was
No.
it okay? Was it a standard? Which
No. Yeah, you want any no more guesses?
one? Those are the three top brands. Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't a branded.
If you
theodolite.
use an inferior brand, that'd be fine. Yeah.
It wasn't. It was.
I don't know why anyone. I don't know why anyone can't understand this data.
What?
So what exactly do you think is going to go wrong with these theodolite measurements? So let's say you go and measure the drop in the horizon. You do this over a period of days, and you do this over and over and over. What do you think is going to be wrong with that data?
Okay. The standard of the machine, the standard of the optics, is not for 3 miles, right? There's a tolerance. There's a what do you call it, Mavitt? The
That's just not true. It's not how it's measured.
You just can't do it. Okay, but the machine comes with a booklet that tells you
All you're doing.
Refer to Mavitt for the knowledge.
All you're doing is measuring how far off of directly in front of you something is. You don't. When I say theodolite, the one I used was homemade. You don't even need an actual manufactured branded device because all you're doing with it is checking to see how many degrees down on the horizon are you compared to your elevation, and that is independent of the distance because you can see it. If you can see it, you can measure it.
Is that the geometric horizon you're talking about?
It's the apparent horizon, which is equivalent to the geometric horizon.
So it's not. So you can't measure to. You're not measuring to a geometric point.
You're measuring to the equivalent of the geometric horizon.
Right? The machine
you're measuring to the equivalent. You're measuring to the equivalent of the geometric horizon by doing it over multiple days and getting an average.
Not an equivalent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, close enough that the error is negligible.
It's really not.
It is. How would you know? How would you know?
The error that you're talking about there, that three degree drop, right? That you call the geometric horizon, would you look through for a fucking theodolite, right? It's a 3 degree drop. If that 3 degree drop wasn't actually there and you back up 2.5 degrees, right? Maybe that's the horizon right there because you don't know.
Yeah, but if you do this many times, if you do this many times, face one. If you do this many times, face one, and it centers around face one. If you do this many times and it centers around 3 degrees, then what do you think the right answer is going to be?
You're not looking at
if it's 2.8, 2.9, 3.1, 3.2, and it centers around that 3 over 100 measurements. Guess
you're
what?
not
The real horizon is. Guess what the real horizon is?
Geometric horizon.
It's 3.
You're not looking at the geometric.
You're right. You're looking at the equivalent of the geometric horizon.
Not the equivalent.
Yes, the equivalent. This is exactly how it works in the real world.
Between apparent and geometric. Right?
Of course there is. Of course there is. When the error rates are this small, they're equivalent. They're usefully equivalent. The utility is the same.
Okay.
You're close enough to the perfect answer that you might as well use what you have because you're not going to be off by enough for it to matter.
Over distance, like I'm saying, like when you look over
the distance doesn't affect us, to be honest with you.
Okay, cool. You're talking about over distance with your theodolite, right? Which does measure accurately angles, up, down, left, right. You know what I mean? And if you don't know that what you're putting your stadia on, the crosshairs called stadia, If you don't know what you're putting them on, but you do measure way out there and you're looking through that optic and you're like, oh, that's got to be the horizon, and it's 3 degrees.
But you
flat,
haven't addressed what I said, Steve.
right?
You haven't addressed what I said.
Right. Okay.
But you haven't addressed what I've said, Face One. This is just dumb of you. Again, if you take multiple measurements and you get an average, what does that mean?
Looking off to the horizon that you cannot measure, that one?
You can measure. And if you take multiple measurements and it centers on an average, what does that mean? Listen to you. As soon as I start talking, you start over talking because you can't deal with this question, which you know the answer to. The answer is that you're converging on the right answer. You understand that in the real world, we take multiple measurements and we average them because there's going to be noise in the system. And refraction is an example of a source of that noise, by the way. And we actually know the limits of refraction to a great degree, right? Because we know exactly how it works and what's required. We know how much pressure differential could possibly exist. We know how much refraction that would cause. So we have some limits on that. And then we take multiple measurements and we get, okay, well, it's 3.1, it's 2.9, it's 2.87, it's 2.13, it's 3.13. And if you take a bunch of measurements and you average them out, and they come out to 3.001, guess what your horizon is? 3.001. That sounds pretty good. And you know, even then you're going to be off a little bit, but you're off by such a small amount that it's almost, that you don't worry about it, that you've got it for all practical purposes, for all utility purposes. The number you have is useful.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't.
The compelling argument, Scott, with the slice test is the people that gave their location from the southern hemisphere makes it that the sun would have to be in 2 different locations in the sky on a flat Earth, which doesn't work.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how it's not even being used as any sort of evidence because it's legit. It is.
Well, I mean, look, there's lots of legit evidence out there that they just ignore. Look at Soundly.
I know they're just completely looking over it, but well, yeah. I mean, Soundly with Pontchartrain. I mean, it's crazy.
You mean basketball Earth? We live on a basketball. That one?
Yeah. I'm not going to say it like that at all. I'm talking about you completely disregarding all of the data that is involved with Sly's.
It's Sly, not Fly.
I said Sly.
Okay,
Sly.
it sounds like you said Fly.
Well, I'm sorry that the internet fucked my my S.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You mean a YouTuber that presented evidence that the Earth is a sphere? In other words, is what you mean, Aaron?
You mean in basketball, Terry? Yeah, presented.
Yeah, I mean the video. The guy he put like so much time into.
So the Earth curves over one lake in Louisiana.
No, that's just where you took measurements.
No, he took pictures of it. I mean, gee whiz, I've seen
That's just where he did. That doesn't mean it's the only place it curves, silly.
It curves everywhere. Way to put something.
That's got to be the only place because nobody else has ever shown it. You know?
And
Neil deGrasse Tyson says
that's a serious way to be hyperbolic there, guy.
You would never see that curvature, right?
That's not what he says, actually. That's not, he's not
Neil deGrasse Tyson says you would never.
He's not talking about the same. It's just
again, way to be super hyperbolic there. As far as
what's the difference, Aaron? What's the difference between calculating the Earth or the spherical Earth, or seeing the spherical Earth? Which one's more accurate?
They're both quite accurate. Yeah.
What?
If you want to calculate,
your eyes can be deceived.
No, if you want to calculate it or see it.
Hang on, someone quote that.
Flat.
According to Face Dumb, your eyes cannot be deceived.
What's up, Davros?
You've never seen a hallucination before.
I never have.
A mirage.
Yeah.
You've never seen a mirage before.
Sure.
You've never seen a cartoon before.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you believe in the cartoon?
No, because I know it's a cartoon. Same as the hallucination. I knew it was a hallucination.
Which one, Soundly or the Blue?
Because
Marble?
I couldn't touch the hallucination.
That's right. Which one, Soundly or the Blue Marble? Which one is a hallucination or cartoon?
I don't think you mean hallucination, because hallucination is like
this guy just a poem.
Hang on. How did dumb fuck here go from me having a hallucination to talking about what fucking Slice Barcade or someone else has done?
That's what we're talking about.
Because we were here way before you. You just jumped in. Okay, go.
Excuse me?
We've We're talking about
Mr.
slice bar game.
Yes, no shit. I was
That's how
talking
we-
about
that's just saying, okay,
specifically your eyes being deceived, though, wasn't I, Mr. Veach?
Yeah, well, it's not really that interesting of a point though, because that's no one talking.
Yeah, but my question was, which is more valid? The measurements that we can take, or just an observation visually?
Yeah, literally with Sparkane's fucking Equinox video, where you got a ton of people to be involved. How many of those can we just say are bullshit? How many of those can we say are just bullshit? They're not, you know, they're not valid to be used. How many of those can we say that are bullshit, and how many can we say that are real, and we can actually use them to measure the shit?
Well, they came from 9 different countries, so pick a country.
Well, I'm asking Mr. Face over here because.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Guatemala.
Right.
Not a real country.
What?
Guatemala's
Evidence,
a
please,
potato
Mr.
country.
Veach. Evidence, please.
I don't prove negative claims.
Hang on. What? What? Did you turn into percentage?
Hey, if you want to believe in Guatemala, you go on and believe in it, okay?
What about the railway to Cuba? Can I
Where
believe
did
in that too?
Guatemala hurt you?
Yeah, if you want, actually.
Yes. Where on the globe
Okay,
did Guatemala
so-
hurt you?
Listen, everybody. All right. So
No, I'm having a conversation with Veach. You
hold
shut
on,
up, boy.
But somebody asked me a question before you started piping up, right? Okay.
Dude,
guy
you
asked
were
me about
off
slides.
playing
The guy asked
thumbing
me
with
about
something.
slides. He said, "I'm waiting for phase 1." Okay, so I'm here, right?
No, he didn't say
Now-
phase 1.
Yeah, he did. He's talking about slides, observations. He asked me about that.
What?
So
Yeah,
We
yeah.
changed
so
to
now,
countries.
yeah, he did.
You
Yeah,
didn't
he did.
respond, so like everyone moved on, and so and
Only
then
for
once,
1 second. Gee
yeah, but
whiz.
once they responded, then you want to be like, yeah, shut the fuck up, like you just need to command
So
the
let me
silence.
answer you like how that works, right? So slides, let's say is PowerPoint there with this computer demonstration of all these straight lines going off this curved surface.
See, you don't believe any of
Hold
the
on,
actual observations.
on,
That's what you're.
hold
That's
on,
literally what you're already saying.
Hold on. Hold
Sure,
on.
I'll let you talk, but that's what
Hold
you're about to say,
Okay,
though. So
cool.
go ahead.
Now, if you get rid of the curved surface and you still take those same
He already-
angles that
he already-
people have, right? It's
he
gonna
already
be a
did it. He
close
already did
and
it.
local light source. It works the same way.
But why are the lines intersecting prior to meeting the object?
Because he's on a globe. He put it on
No.
a globe. Yes, he did. He put it on.
Yeah, it's almost as if like everyone looking at the same object, a celestial object in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
They all
at
look
the
at
same point.
They all look at the exact same point. The thing that we all know to be true. We can all look up at that thing, right? So they all looked up at that thing, no matter where they were on the Earth, right? And angle wise, it all matches if we put them on a globe. But if we were to put them on a flat Earth, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
If you take away the curve and put it all on a flat surface, even with the latitude lines going out, away from the center,
They don't meet at the
would
same
all
point.
They would all point to the same fucking point.
But they don't.
No,
No, they don't.
They don't. They don't.
Yes,
And
If
he-
you can,
he
if you
literally
can
proved
see
it
the
in
side
video.
chat, you could show. I showed a picture of that.
Yeah, I know, but if you look at the degree from axis, that's how you know that they don't intersect on the flat.
Yeah.
Look,
Azimuth and angle proves that you're just wrong.
How can the sun be coming from 2 different directions at the same time?
actually, if you look at that, it's coming from at least 4 different directions.
How many
Because of
questions you
magic,
guys can
Jared,
ask before
magic.
I can answer? Man?
Oh, Renee, we can ask hundreds and we'll never get an answer. So we just
Okay,
keep asking.
Yeah, just keep trying.
See?
Any question, Devers?
Like, Face, you can claim whatever you want to claim, but like legitimately, that's why he literally specifically picked this exact, like, the date and the time like GMT saying like everyone on this date at this exact time measure this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get that, right? So it's not
Yeah.
like everyone measure it at noon wherever the fuck you're at. That's not how it went. It was like everyone at this exact time measure.
Okay. Cool. And then he put all that information into a spreadsheet database and put it on a curved surface.
Oh, but again, but he also put it on a flat surface. And it made literally 0 sense. Zero.
That made perfect sense, actually.
Well,
the image is in the side chat, Aaron, so that you explain where the sense coming
I'm
from.
not sure why you. I'm not sure why you think it made tons of sense because it just didn't.
99% made sense. Okay, you might have one of those rays going somewhere else, whatever.
But it didn't though. It didn't. It wasn't 99% success rate, and he's basing his entire video off of a 1 percentile fucking bullshit. No, that's not what happened at all.
Well, I'll tell you this though, all his straight parallel rays off of a fucking globe right there, the surface right there, don't point to the sun. Right?
Not this one doesn't. Not that image. That image doesn't on the flat
What
plane.
are they pointing at then, Aaron?
Well, the sun, the sun is his local light source, right?
Then what are they looking at?
Wrong. Well, that's what I want to ask you, Davros. Is all those parallel rays literally back off the fucking Earth, right? All those parallel rays.
You're a po.
Watch the video. Watch the video because he literally went through exactly that because that's exactly what he's trying to debunk. So he put a local sun, according to you, your bullshit, your little time scale about how it just does like a little, circle around the flat plane. He actually did that. He actually did it. According to your own bullshit, literally. Yes.
So a flat Earth debunker gave proof to you that those lines would not match up, right?
On a flat Earth.
You're acting as if that this guy is as disingenuous as you are.
He is, and you
but
got
he's
to
not.
know it.
He's
I
not.
mean,
He's not.
look,
He's not.
Love him or hate him, he's gonna always put
That's not
bias
true.
towards.
That's not true at all.
Whatever. Yes,
That's not even remotely true, Faceman. You know that's
Don't
not
be
true.
a liar.
You're just trying to snow us right there. You know that all this evidence is valid. You know it's
Well,
done
then,
legitimately.
Scott, then you would know that all his parallel lines coming off that globe, or that dome surface he had there on the end of his video right there, that was pointing towards a sun or a light source, would never point at the sun.
No, why not?
What other light source was there then?
Never point towards the sun at all.
Why not?
Yeah.
He's
On
just
a flat Earth, yeah. On a flat Earth.
Why not? Faceman, doesn't make any sense. I think it would point to the sun. I don't know why you're saying it wouldn't. It's because you are a priori assuming the sun is local? That's silly. You know it's not true.
Just saying that Soundly's fucking image there of the dome and all these fucking parallel rays going out would never, all the people he had all over the globe would
But it does
never
point to the sun.
towards the
It points to
sun.
the
It
sun.
wouldn't do it, right?
It already did. It already does.
We understand geometry. You understand trigonometry.
Yeah. So then you know that it already does point to the sun.
We get it, right?
So then you know that it points to the sun. So why are you saying otherwise?
A light source 93 million miles away. It wouldn't do it.
Why are you saying that? Because you know it's not true. Who do you think you're going to convince here? We all know it's not true. You know it's not true. So who's being said?
I know it's not true. You're right.
Yeah. So say the truth next time. It is pointing at the sun.
Soundly was not telling the truth.
No. You need to tell the truth.
Point at the actual bullshit. Show where he's actually wrong, but you're not saying anything. All you're saying is like, nah. Like, at best, all you're literally saying is no. That's all you're saying.
Nah. Okay.
Where
He doesn't understand what we're looking at. That's all it is.
What was wrong?
Terry, I never said no or nuh or nothing. I've always come back saying that Soundly's fucking globe right there. Either if it's in your guys' description right there.
But why? Why? That's what we're asking is why. You can fucking re-explain all the stupid little bullshit. Why?
Come on, M. Scott.
Why?
Good question. Why?
Why? You can
Come
keep
on.
saying no all day long, but why?
Okay, so you asked the
All
why.
those
You asked the
straight lines-
question.
All those straight lines would never point to a
Why
singular
not?
light source 93
not?
million miles away.
Why
now,
not?
if you
Why not?
flattened out his fucking
Why
little
not?
terminal,
Face
it would
one.
say-
Why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
Why?
You keep saying this, but no one believes you. So give us a reason why.
Well, because light rays are not parallel. They cannot be, and nothing coming off of a sphere can be parallel.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
they're
mate, you're
sufficiently
telling me-
parallel though.
Hang on, you're
Huh?
telling me the source that it's coming from is not in a perpendicular point to where the person is
I
standing?
never said that. Stop it. What I said was anything, any light, let's say it emission from a sphere that's
At
coming off
90
tangent
degrees
to it,
from the position, yeah.
tangent to it would
No.
ever be
Not tangent
parallel.
at 90 degrees. Go and read the data if you're so interested.
It doesn't even matter because you're not making any sense because all you're saying is that they do point back at the sun. If light rays coming out of a sphere are not parallel, and you're saying these light rays were not parallel, then you're saying these light rays are pointing back at the source.
There's no
that
way they
data
can.
or
Is what I'm
datum?
saying. There's no way they can point.
They
back.
can. Do you think the light rays were parallel or not parallel?
Hmm?
Do you think the light rays were parallel or not parallel?
Light rays, in my opinion, are not parallel.
So then
But
you
what-
think light
what
rays
we're
point back at the
soundly-
sun, don't you?
What were soundly subjects measuring? What was
You
he
think that
doing?
light rays pointing back at the sun, right? Because you're saying they're not parallel, so they're coming from the sun.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so those light
but-
rays point back at the sun.
No, they don't.
they
Not on
do.
Soundly's diagram at the end.
Those light rays, those that you see on his diagram, those are not parallel light rays. They're very close to parallel, but just like the actual light rays from the sun, they're not perfectly parallel, just incredibly close to parallel.
There are, Aaron. There's some parallel light rays from the sun.
Okay, yeah. I know there's no winning with y'all, but that's okay.
No winning when
It's
you're
not,
telling
it's not a
lies.
race to win or lose, Aaron.
Imagine trying to actually measure the difference in angle between like a single light ray and another from that far away.
Mm-hmm.
Crack, he's in a race to be wrong, all right?
If you want to be right, Aaron, all you have to do is switch over to tell the truth.
What do I need?
Just tell the truth.
Let's be honest. For what we see.
Give me a photo. I'll fucking switch
I've
right
been
now.
posting a few photos.
Stop being so disingenuous.
Quick, someone flick Blackpool.
There's another one.
Dude, we had a chat on Brandon's the other night. We're like, it was no Globers were there. It was pretty funny actually, and everybody's talking shit about Globers. And I brought it up. I was like, hey, stop it, guys. Let's talk about what Globers do you actually like. So we brought up a few. Rumpus.
I would be in there.
actually like Rumpus. He's pretty cool, especially if you don't corner him. He's actually a pretty cool guy. And they brought up a couple others. It's pretty awesome. And my favorite Glober was Ranty, actually.
I thought I'd be up in the list somewhere there, Aaron.
Dang it, Terry! You don't get
Terry,
around.
we're
enough,
Australian.
You know what I mean?
No one remembers us.
Yeah, that's